Hello, everybody. Michelle with Books to Grace Coaching, and we are here today with a moment of presence. And it is Wednesday, and it is 12:35. Thank you for your patience. We have a really big conversation today. However, as we break it down, you're going to see that it's not that big. So I want everybody to take a moment to bring themselves into this moment. So if you can, turn off your phones. If you want to turn off your light for a moment, shut your lights down, whatever. But if you're driving, do not close your eyes, please. So let's bring ourselves into the moment. We're going to take a big, deep breath and hold it for 3. And I want you to think about all the things you're going to release and let go of that you don't want to carry with you. Let go. Just exhale. And I want you to breathe in, but this time I want you to think about all the things that you thought about when you read the title for today. What frightens you the most about where we are right now? So big, deep breath in. Think about all of those emotions and feelings and thoughts, and then release. Let it go. Can you, for this conversation, release any and all expectations of what you thought it might have been about, what we may talk about, and can you just open your heart and just be here in this conversation and be open to whatever comes up? Okay? So that's the deal for the day. So what scares you, us? What scares you the most about right now? About the state of the world? About people losing their minds? About narratives that are collapsing, old beliefs, limitations that are being put on us, and yet also being taken away? Can you just be here and think about all of the people, everything that we've been through, the people that we thought we could trust that we're realizing we can't, the people that said they were going to keep us safe and then it didn't happen? Can you just put all of that aside for right now? Can you think of a moment in your own personal life where you went through something that maybe you didn't think you'd ever get through, but you did? Because if you're here, as a tape I used to watch all the time, a Steve Harvey video about if you're here, your survival rate is 100%. But in that moment when you were going through those situations or that situation, and you thought you might not get to the other side. And now fast forward to where you are now. And can you see, if you take all the emotions out of it, okay, all the emotion away from it, all the fear, all the anger, and can you look at that situation as just something that you could hold in your hand? Right here, I'll pick up my new crystal and just look at that situation and turn it and spin it, right? And look at it and go, what did this teach me? What was the lesson in this? Without the emotion, you got to separate it. Because when we look back at things, oh, if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have learned this. And if I didn't learn this, then I wouldn't have been able to do that. And I know that there's a lot of pushback when we think about this. Why in the world would we have to go through this to get that? Why would God, source, whichever divine you believe in, whatever name you give it, why would they put us through that? So here's what I want you to think. What if it's all for us? What if everything that we go through, everything the world is going through, all the chaos is for us? Would we be here if it were not for chaos? Would we be on this planet if it weren't for chaos? Would we be in this body, this time, this moment, right here, right now, if the things leading up to it were not chaotic? The key is to be able to take that step back, look at it as something that we could hold and investigate and research and stare at and go, okay, what was the lesson in that? The conversation today is more about trust. And it's about trusting that everything is going to work out and that it's happening for us. Good morning, Keith. It's all happening for us. So trusting in the bigger picture, right? Yesterday, my daughter and I were driving somewhere and we missed the exit. And I was thinking it and she said it. There's a reason. There's a reason. Maybe we were supposed to get off on this exit because there was about to be an accident. And that's the easy one. Good morning, Katina. I used to say Kalimera. Well, everything that happens, you stub your toe, you lose out on a investment, a house. Happened to me. But then when it came back up, I was able to do what I needed to do to make it happen. Because I had to be in a different place to make it happen. Krista and I were on a show yesterday, Brooklyn Cafe. We had so much fun. It was great to be around those people. Dawn and Freddie, they were amazing. So shout out to them. Thank you for having us back. And when we were on that show 6 years ago, I was like, oh, wow, I love this. I want to be in front of people. I want to help people. I want to talk to more people. But back then was not my time. I got a little passion. It planted a little seed in the chaos, in the dark. And that seed was able to grow. But certain things had to happen in order for it to be nurtured, in order to get stronger, for it to grow the way I needed it to. And so we were back yesterday. And who knows what the future may hold. The point is that I wasn't ready back then. And so sometimes when we lose something, sometimes when we don't get something, it's because of the bigger picture, because we weren't supposed to at that moment. So the same thing goes on about life and the world right now. Right now, there is a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff that's falling apart, a lot of new stuff that's being put together. But right now is so exciting because we don't know what's on the other side. And remember how I always say, we either come from love or we come from fear. So you can look at that and go, ooh, but I'm scared of what's on the other side. Well, truth be told, are you happy with how it is now? Would you want it to be the same way 5, 10 years from now? Our own children, grandchildren, dealing with the same lies and distrust that's going on now? No matter what side you're on, there's still a bunch of lies and distress floating around. We have to have something better because it can't stay the same. But when you break it down to the ridiculous, isn't that all about ourselves too? Isn't that about our own life? We have to face what a lot of people would call the demons inside to get to the other side, to set ourselves free. But remember, they're all there for a reason. They were all put there. They were all developed and created by, guess who? And our environment. And ultimately, it's for protection. But we're not still riding around in car seats, are we? We're not still riding our bicycles with, not the tricycles, the wheels, I can't think of the word, but you know what I mean. So that you don't fall over, the training wheels. We're not still riding our bikes with training wheels. You have to take them off at some point. And so those protections that we have inside of us, we have to break through. Those are like our training wheels or a check engine light. You can't just throw them out, though. You got to figure out why they're there. And then you got to face those fears. You got to face those situations. Because you are not the same person that you were when they were placed. We're not the 3-year-old. We're not the 4-year-old. We're not the 6-year-old. We're not the 15-year-old of those limitations and those old beliefs. We are different now. We are stronger. We are bolder. And we want more. Trusting ourselves. Trusting that voice from within that's trying to tell us which way to go, what to say yes to, what not to say yes to. Allowing seeds to be planted that are going to grow, but being open enough to allow the little bit of watering to water the plant, right? Nurture it, that seed. And we have to have the vision of what it's going to look like when it's in full bloom. And it's always nice to talk to our dreams, our little seedling, as it starts to sprout. And we can start thinking about what new pot we're going to transplant it in when it gets bigger. And we can make some plans. But these are the things that you got to think about and not just hold up in your fear within, in your comfort zone, not wanting to go anywhere or do anything because, oh my gosh, the world's crazy right now. The world's always been crazy. It's just even more crazier now. But when we take responsibility for ourselves and we can trust ourselves, we're going to impact more people just by walking in the room because we're going to be carrying ourselves different. We're going to talk differently. And I'm not saying for you to go out there and start talking about your beliefs about the world or anything else, because the bottom line is that if people want to know, people are going to find out. And they're going to ask questions. They're going to get curious. And just because you've already done the work doesn't mean that you can do that for them. Now, if they ask you, where can I get that information? Or, I've never thought about it this way. How did you get started in that research? You can guide them. But don't just tell them everything because they're not going to be able to absorb it. They've got to do it at their own pace. And they've got to work up to it just like we all did. So don't push your lessons on other people. Might not be their lesson. And the other thing is just because the reality of the world is chaotic right now, that does not mean that your world has to be chaotic right now. And this is huge. You can separate yourself from the chaotic world that we live in right now. That doesn't mean that you're ignoring it. That's not what I'm saying. You can send love and good energy out to everybody that's struggling and suffering right now. But you can choose to be at a higher level energy and to maintain that level of energy as much as possible so that you have more to give. Because the more you have to give, the more light you have to shine. That's what's going to make a difference in this world. But you getting down into the quicksand with other people is not going to help them, because you're going to get sucked down too. Think of a big lighthouse. You're the lighthouse keeper. If you're not making sure that the light is shining bright, if you're not making sure that the mechanism to spin it is working, if you're not taking care of the lighthouse isn't going to work when it's most needed. So bringing your best self into your every single day for the people that you love, for the people that maybe you don't love, and maybe you have some, tension with, the way you show up is still going to impact them. So don't fear the world and what's going to happen. Whatever is supposed to happen is what's supposed to happen. And I don't think that last chapter has been written, because as we grow as people, as our energy rises, as we are changing our expectations, what we'll tolerate, what we won't tolerate, it's free will. The world is still changing. The world has free will because it's still being impacted every day. So for every one person that shows up differently, impacting another person who now is showing up differently, and then it's this big ripple effect. So what you do matters, and how you take care of yourself matters to the world. It's been a very long time of the world and us not taking care of ourselves, thinking that we'll just show up and things will be the way they're supposed to be. Well, now it's time for us all to take responsibility. But that means taking responsibility for yourself. That doesn't mean diving into the quicksand and trying to save everybody. You can't. You can't. The best way for you to impact change is to start within yourself first. Bring that to your community. Bring that to your friends. Bring that to your family. But you cannot impact global change without impacting yourself first. So turn off the news. Just turn it off. Turn it off. One check-in maybe a day. So find one thing that's going to give you the most information that you need, that's impacting you. And if you need to watch it 5-10 minutes a day, and then shut it down. Shut it down. If there's something that you can do to impact other people, I'm in Florida right now, the southwest of Florida. They're hurting. God, they're hurting so much. I'm going to keep my vision of the west coast of Florida the way that I saw it a couple months ago. I'm going to hold that vision. And I know that there's so many people that are also holding that vision. And anything that I can do, send over there, supplies, that's different. That's something that you can take action and do. But otherwise, I'm not going to see them as destroyed, because now that's sending them sadness and pity. They don't need that. They need belief, and they need hope. They need cheering on. And that goes for anybody that's having a rough time. And that brings us back to the world. See the world the way you want to believe it to be. Yes, Katina. Don't see the world and pity the world or pity other countries. See them how you want to see the world, how you believe the world is in your heart. And then show up with that vision in your life, when you talk to other people. Don't exasperate the bad, enhance the good. So, was this the topic that you thought it was going to be today? Kind of, right? A little. We tied it all together. So let's take a deep breath and let's really bring it in and let it settle into our heart of how we're going to show up for the world by showing up for ourselves. Because we are the person that we can trust. We are the change, each and every one of us, collectively together. So big deep breath in. Think about the next conversations that you might be having, friends and family. Relax. Think about the vision that you're going to bring in, all the good, just by being in the room. Relax. Be that person. Be the person that people go, oh my gosh, I don't know what it is. There's just this great energy. I just feel so good when I'm around that person. Be that person. That is the contagious that you want to be. So, a little bit of, I don't know if it's housekeeping, but information. I did release that we are doing Calm the Chaos again, the workshop. So if you want to join in, if you didn't get to finish it last time, if you want to participate again because you got so much from it, it's going to be a little different. I'm taking it from 5 days and making it into 3. And then we're also, but we're not going to lose content. I'm just going to get really good at delivering it and be a little bit more, right to the point. And we're also going to be doing it at 6 o'clock instead of 12:15. So that way, if you're working or you have things that you're doing, taking care of kids, whatever it is, hopefully 6 o'clock will be a better time for you, Eastern time. You can go to the link, mokshagrace.com/workshop. Get yourself registered. The other thing we're going to do different is we are going to be on Zoom. I want to see you. Now, you don't have to be on camera if you don't want to, but I want to be able to interact live right there, ask questions right there. So you have to get registered in order for us to be able to send you the private Zoom link that will be on for the 3 days. It's October 25th, 26th, and 27th, 6 o'clock Eastern. So go over there and register. All right. And we're going to have a really good time. We're going to be talking about the chaos. We're going to be the internal chaos. We're going to be talking about how to be that calm that you need for yourself. And that is the path to emotional freedom. So we're going to do that again. If you're ready to get started now, and the reason I say that is because it is October 5th. October 5th. If we start now, getting to work and jumping in one-on-one, that means that you will be the best version of you in 2023. You'll already be starting. It's not like January will come and you'll say, I'm going to set a New Year's resolution that I'm going to finally do this. It's already going to be done, right? So if you're ready to get started, book your call with me because I'm still going to have a conversation with you. Make sure that it is the right fit. So book a call, and you can do that at mokshagrace.com. And it's a complimentary conversation. Okay. So I look forward to seeing you. So that's 2 things they got to remember: workshop, book a call. And here's the 3rd thing: next Wednesday, same time, same place. Bring yourself, bring a glass of water, and we will get present again. And we're going to have another good conversation. All right. So remember everything we talked about today. Turn off the news. Get your news from big highlights on Facebook. That's how I do it too, Katina. If it's big enough, it's going to be there. And there's some underground stuff that, I find my information, but that's a different, it's a different day. Anyway, I leave you with you being the change is what's going to have that trickle effect on the world. Don't worry about the world. Don't even worry about you. Don't worry about anything. Everything is working for you. Everything is happening for you. Okay? Yes, I look forward to it too, Katina. All right, you guys. See you next Wednesday. Have a wonderful week. You can always ask questions. Join the Facebook group, the Calm the Chaos Facebook group, because there's a lot of interaction. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.